People deluded, I'm back again. Hope you're all doing well and safe. Good morning to all of you. Good morning to those of you in the UK. Good evening, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, depending on wherever you're on this time zone. You know, football don't sleep. Some of you don't sleep. I know Live from Planet X is probably in the comments. You know, he's over there in Australia. I know a number of you are in Australia, Dubai, all sorts of mad regions in this world, people, where, you know, like I said, it's stupid o'clock. If you're over there in America, it's stupid o'clock. You know, England, it's early. I know a lot of you are getting through the work day and whatnot. So whatever the time, however you're fitting me in and however you're listening to this, first and foremost, I appreciate that. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. I see a lot of you in the comments before the video went live. I see a lot of you were waiting. I see a lot of you have made your comments. You know, we're going to speak about a lot. We'll touch on the Arsenal Benfica game. We'll speak on a couple other things. First, we're going to get into the Dangote business. Now, I don't want to ruin any of my comments before we've spoken about it, but I'm personally tired of seeing these rumors. Like, I'll be inclined to believe there's a next investment unrelated to Arsenal or unrelated to football that he's got going on, because it just seems like anytime there's a little business he's got doing and he needs a bit of publicity and stuff like that, this Arsenal shout comes. To be fair, the last report did say 2021 he's going to try and do this thing. It is 2021, so we'll have to see. And I know a lot of Arsenal fans, when you've got an owner like Kroenke where you don't really see ambition or all of those sort of things, you're pleading with someone like Dangote to get involved in things like that. But, you know, we'll get into that, people. Where's my manners, though? Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. What are you lot saying in the comments, man? We're going to get into it briefly in a sec, people. But let me see what you lot are saying in the comments. TR is saying, this guy better take over. That's me as well, broski. You know, he better take over. I'm tired of seeing Donny's name. Or like you, unless it's a miracle thing where somehow we have a Leicester sort of season, I can't see Arsenal doing serious business, because we've got a coach who show some good and show some bad. I don't really think there's pressure on him, and he's still learning and doesn't know what he doesn't know to a degree. You can't underestimate experience. The same goes for Edu. And then I've gone, oh no, he doesn't seem to care really. So unless a madness happens and a mighty duck sort of Leicester story when they won the league happens, Arsenal ain't going to do something serious, people, because fairy tales don't happen. Big up yourself, Peter. I hope it's true as well, Marcus, man, because he could take the club forward. And, you know, since the moment we sold to Stan Kroenke our first little shares and he got his hands into this club, it's when this club stopped being a football club and just was even more of a business, man, you know. And exactly that, Osman, man, you know, you've got to have a passion for the club, you know. That's why Chelsea never lie down for too long, because Roman Abramovich, whatever you say around him, he wants Chelsea to win. It's his sort of project, you know. He's probably not in it to make money. Of course, you can make money in football, but for every person that makes money from football, it's a loser's game. And I'm sure Roman Abramovich has had good years and bad years. And I'm sure, based on the last year, based on the money they've spent and the climate, you know, obviously Chelsea, like every club, probably losing a lot of money because of the COVID and the lack of seats on bums. You know, there's talk of, you know, in May and things like that, fans coming back. But you get it, you know, Roman Abramovich in the COVID, where he's losing money, still found 200 odd million to invest and give Lampard, and it didn't work out. He needs to move on, but at least they're doing their thing, man. Queen, it would be a good move. Again, I don't know nothing about this man's character. He could be exactly like Kroenke. You know, everybody says all the right things, but he could be exactly like Kroenke. I don't know this man. I just know he's got a lot of money, and he's obviously he's based in the, you know, he's a rich man. He's made his business in his homeland and obviously done a couple other bits and pieces in neighboring regions around Africa. But reality is, I don't know Dangote. You know, he could be doing what many people do, just promising a madness. He comes, it could be the same things as Kroenke, but willing to try, man, because Kroenke just comes out here and gives us propaganda pieces that, oh, I haven't actually just only been to one Arsenal game. I've been to 14 this season. You know, Matthew is saying, however, also Dangote is an Arsenal fan. So if he takes over and invests in the club, we could be back in like 3 years. Well, you know, I wouldn't put a time span on it, people, but, you know, hopefully, Matthew. Cam is saying, well, I've heard that Kroenke has lost $1 billion due to COVID. I'm sure Dangote was after buying Arsenal last year too. Let's see if he puts his money where his mouth is. Facts, you know. If it's just a draw, man. Big up all the Portuguese ones and all the Lisbon ones. You know, stay in class, my guy. But if you're not gonna listen in class, at least you're getting your education somehow. On a serious note, stay in school, man, and get your education, man. Let me quickly, you know, get into it, people. So that's 4 minutes and 42 seconds. Dangote, when we, you know, just for the ones of you that aren't watching this, you know, please stay in school. But if you got to watch, do your thing. I think it is worth a punt. fundamentally, it cannot be any worse. You know, it can't be any worse than what we've got already, man. Big up, that's tough, man. You know, multitasking and things like that. T, you don't have to thank me for the content. I thank you lot for watching it. You know, already 5 minutes in, there's 123 of you locked in. Please hit the like button. That's enough. It's 11:30. You know, you lot could be doing a bag of things, but you're willing to listen to me just waffle about Arsenal, so I appreciate that. But you know, enough of the waffling. Let's crack on into the Dangote business, people. Like I said, if you know, I've seen this guy's name before and things like that. This isn't nothing new. It's just a bag of chat. Just as I said that, you know, like Zach has said, it's all chat for me. When I see news of a bid submitted, then I'll pay attention. And that's how I feel. Because obviously Arsenal fans were praying for some ambition. We're praying for some hope. We're praying for just to be able to wake up and know that our club is serious. And based on how this man has been speaking, and like somebody said, allegedly an Arsenal fan, more likely to try and bring us back to the pinnacle and put us in shouts for being the best team like everybody wants to be. But you know, I just think this guy just loves the chatting people. Like you can see here, that bunch of different reports, you know, takeover talks. Let's click on this one because this is the one I clicked initially. Let's scroll down, people. Obviously we'll get into the Benfica game later and things like that. But let's get into this now. The bulk of it, as you can see here, people, talks over a potential takeover at Arsenal could start up in the not too distant future. Aliko Dangote, who is the richest man in Africa, you know, that's what I want to hear, people, you know, richest man in Africa, money, you know, ambition. This guy is even gassing me a little bit, people. But as you see, he has made no secret in the past of his desire to buy out Stan Kroenke at Arsenal and become the owner of the Emirates Stadium. Now, let's be real with ourselves, people. Regardless of if he's an Arsenal fan or not, let's be real, you know. He cares about money, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's a businessman first and foremost. You know, I don't know if he's born into riches or family ties and things like that, but I see oil. You know, I see 206 richest man in the world and richest man in Africa. You don't get there without being an accurate businessman. So if he is taking Arsenal, let's be honest, people. It's not just because it's a football business and he loves Arsenal and things like that. I hope it is, but there's commercial opportunities. Obviously, with his oil business and things, when the world gets back spinning, I guess he could offer out tickets to people as he's trying to close deals, come and watch the game at the Emirates. Obviously, there's the attraction of London. There's many different commercial opportunities through many different sources of making money as to why he probably wants to acquire Arsenal. And similar to Stan Kroenke, there's no way around it. If it wasn't a football club, if we didn't have love for football, what Stan Kroenke has actually done in business terms, not for Arsenal, but for himself, is amazing. So I'm sure there's a bit of that in that regard. And there is a bit of a sleeping giant. And like I said, with a businessman, again, it's not this easy, but if he was to take over Arsenal, move serious like how the club wants to be moved, or the fans at least want, keep us for a couple of years, you might make your peas back or make a profit on the club. Like I said, he's a businessman, and it'd be naive to just sit here and think, oh, he's just doing this from an Arsenal fan point of view, because it's a loser's business in large parts football. But you know, there's nothing wrong with making money. David Dean cared about making money. You know, David Dean cared about lining his own pockets. The thing is, he cared about the football club equally as much. If you're on that, there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. You know, there's really nothing wrong with it, really and truly. That's what we need. You know, I don't mind people that are money orientated businessmen. I say arguably we need people like that at the club if we ain't got money really to spend and whatnot, people. We'll have to see. You know, again, he's got an oil refinery, so the money is very long, you know, and he's got a bunch of other interests and things. And obviously, you know, like I said, with commercial opportunities, let's be real. Africa has a whole heap of Arsenal fans. Leave it, bro. I even see it with my deluded stuff. You know, I see bare Nigerian Arsenal fans in my comments. Nigeria is one of the biggest nations in Africa. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And obviously, there's a bunch of fans, and obviously, there's commercial opportunities with Arsenal in his homeland and in his home region of Africa. So again, there's more commercial opportunities. You know, for instance, one that's going through my head, you know, off the top of my head, I haven't seen Arsenal go on a tour of South Africa or anywhere in Africa and things like that. I know Everton have done something like that. I know we've gone Asia, America, all of these sort of things, but we haven't done the Africa sort of thing. And, you know, I think that's one there as well. I don't want to make this a bit about politics, but you see the Chinese investment all over in Africa. I'm inclined to believe, Dangote's had some, negotiations with Chinese businessmen, like you would with any nation, about commercial opportunities. There's obviously that as well. So Arsenal would tick his hand, would tick, would tick many boxes. Like I said, there's many. Let's be real. If I was in his position, I'm an Arsenal fan through and through. Let's just say I'm a billionaire, people deluded somehow. My YouTube channel's made me a billion or made me the richest in the world. I'd still be an Arsenal fan. I'd be the same guy. But let me not sit here and cap. I'm buying Arsenal because of some of the commercial opportunities as well, people. For what it's worth, I just think this is worse. But the article's gone on to say it's a team that, yes, I would like to buy someday. But what I keep saying is we have 20 billion worth of projects, and that's what I really want to concentrate on. I'm trying to finish building the company, and then after we finish, maybe sometime in 2021, we can. So again, sometime in 2021, that could be today, that could be the last day of the year, people. And like I said earlier, he did say these comments last year. He said, I'm not buying Arsenal right now. I'm buying Arsenal when I finish all these projects because I'm trying to take the company to the next level. Now I get that, he's got all his energy, he's got all his energy that he's going to focus onto his businesses. But then, I don't mind that if he doesn't have the time to delegate. But then what if he takes over Arsenal and suddenly there's other projects he deems, are more important, similar to what you see in allegedly with Kroenke, with what he's doing across other sports, people. We're going to have to see, man. TJ, I hope you're right, bro. But it's like my man said, TJ, I keep seeing this. So like he said, sometime in 2021, but I just think it's worse. I'm a person, I don't believe in chattings, in it. So that's that one there, people. Don't really want to click on the same sort of article, people. Is there anything else? So it's mainly the same, people. It's mainly the same. I don't know why we haven't really learned anything, but it's resurfaced, people. It really has resurfaced, as you lot can see here, people. So there's got to be a reason this has resurfaced. Obviously, he's actually 10 years younger than Stan Kroenke, so I don't know if you lot want to read into that, but it is what it is, people. He said he would like to buy it one day, take it to the next level. Stan Kroenke would, apparently he's lost $1 billion. Arsenal are steady in free flow domestically just by the sporting ambitions. COVID hasn't marked it. Maybe, in terms of Stan Kroenke's ownership, I guess there's never been a stronger case for him to sell. But I mean, he's been given a bunch of offers consistently. Usmanov begging him to buy it. Would have doubled his money. He don't want to sell it. I think, like I've said before, Stan Kroenke sees this as a family heirloom. Arsenal is collateral. Is collateral to enhance other business. How many times is he taking out loans? He's putting Arsenal on the balance sheet if anything goes wrong. Like I said, he's probably given Arsenal tickets out to sponsors and things like that. This is just something that enables him to live his real dreams, and it is something that makes money for him. And I think it's going to be a family heirloom, because if you had something, people, you own something and you never put your own money in it, and you steady seen your money doubling, and hella people have tried to buy it off you, and it is a sleeping giant, you're not going to be in a rush to sell it unless a stupid offer came. You're not going to sell it. You're going to pass that down. And you've got Josh Kroenke, who's his son. I think I've said it before, like with Walmart, like with Stan Kroenke's many other businesses, I think Arsenal is at his mercy. We're just going to be passed down through his family heirloom until one day somebody doesn't care. I know people say Josh Kroenke seems to care, don't judge him on his father. I'm sorry, but I've got to judge you lot on that. I don't give a crap about what propaganda you lot bring out. You lot don't want to be winners, and that's the day I will truly start to believe as an Arsenal football club fan, when this man in this shot just simply doesn't exist in relation to this club anymore. That's when I'll have hope, because I know somewhere down the line, the buck's gonna stop with him. I can criticize the players, I can criticize people above the manager, I can criticize the manager, but listen, we've had different players, different managers, different all sorts. The one variable has been the man who owns this club, and the mentality trickles down, and you see it in positive ways at other clubs. You see it in a negative way at Arsenal, really and truly. I see an owner who doesn't care. I see an owner who hasn't really equipped his newly sporting director or manager who are novices in this role with the right tools or the right people around him. So when you've got a silent owner, and you're just leaving other people to their devices, of course you're going to have an owner who doesn't spend enough. Let's be real, Arsenal are up there for the net spends, and then you're going to have people who mismanage. There'd be less mismanagement of funds, Lacazette, Xhaka, Pepe. I'm not saying these men are bad players, but they they polarize opinion. You know, these things don't happen if man want something from the top, in it. Do you get it, people? You know, and it's not even just the big money signings. Look at some of the free transfers, look at some of the loans, look at the sort of players we've gone through, look at the sort of players we're going for. You know, we're not, you know, nobody wants to sell their best players. We don't really go for a player that a team is fighting tooth and nail to keep, really and truly. When was the last sort of player, sort of thing? So in relation to Dangote, I don't think we've really learned anything. But if he has really been trying to buy Arsenal since 2011, you know, for the last however many years, you know, 10 years, I believe that is, my maths is poor, then that tells me you've got desire, you've got patience, you've got ambition, you know, you've got drive. These are things that I think the owner needs, you know, these are positive qualities that the owner of any football club needs for it to trickle down, you know, and we'll have to see, man. I just think it's you know, people typically promise a lot and under deliver. So whether, even if he was to get the job with Stan Kroenke, have to be take the role over from Stan Kroenke and own the club, you'd probably have to be wary of expecting Arsenal to be serious, because we don't know this man from nowhere. Do you get it? You know, we can say he's an Arsenal fan, can do all of them things there, but I don't know him. Once he takes the role, I don't know man's intention. So we'll have to see what happens, man. We'll have to see what happens, man. So in relation to that, we're just gonna leave that one there, people. So that one, that's that in relation to Dangote, man. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen, but it is what it is. You know, the date. You're right on that. You're right on that, man. Bro, be excited for what though? Like, you know, we brought Pepe, but that's mismanagement. That's the mismanagement I'm talking about. You know, I do think Josh cares a bit more than his son, but be excited for what? You know, it's not making sense. You know, he seems like a good guy. Big up to him. He does all his charity work in Nigeria and all of those sort of things. But, you know, I don't know you from nowhere. I don't know. I'd have to see what you look like. Man said you're smoking crack. What can I say, man? Your mother likes to do that with me on a Bobby and Whitney thing. What can I say, my dude, man? You're done, no? You know? Don't do drugs, kids. But if you're gonna do it with his mother, you know what to do. It's like Emmanuel said, the fish rots from the head, you know. The thing trickles down. So we'll have to see, man. For what it's worth, I think it's worse, people. So we're going to get into some other stuff in a sec, but let me see what you lot are saying, man. We do need a new owner without a doubt. I do think it isn't going to happen. It's going to be a myth. And to be fair with you, 1-1, you know, to be honest with you, you know, you can criticize the manager and the owner, but maybe if you had an owner who cared, there'd be a bit more pressure on Arteta. So maybe he wouldn't do these questionable things in the FA Cup, retain faith in pensioner wingers that were brought for free transfers or stagnant fullbacks and have to play right players. You know, maybe it would. King James, fundamentally, that's what I believe as well. You know, he ain't selling. So this is all a myth, in my opinion, but man can hope. You know, it would have to, bro. Usmanov was begging to take Stan Kroenke's shares and take the club off him. He would have doubled his piece, you know, doubled it. And considering he's never actually put his own money into buying stocks for Arsenal, the shares of Arsenal, whatever you want to call it, if you're not going to sell it, then when are you going to sell it? This is why I'm saying, bro, it's a family heirloom. Long for, you know, I don't wish death on anyone, but what I mean by family heirloom is obviously Stan Kroenke, when he dies, it's going to be his son. I don't know if his son has kids, but I think that's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong, but I just think this is a fairly heirloom, because why would you sell? You know, Arsenal have been crap for years. Still a whole heap of money being spent on when we're allowed in the stadiums, on the stadium tickets. We, you know, the one consistency over the Emirates years, as you lot know, is the ticket prices. Our form's been up there. The ticket price has been up there. You know, the ticket prices are up there with the top 4, top 6 teams. You know, so you still got that. No matter how much we, pardon my language, bitch about Arsenal, moan about Arsenal, you know, we love this club. You know, I don't really have a snowball's positive thing to really say about my club. You see me day in, day out, emotionally invested, coming on YouTube, speaking about my opinions on Arsenal. You lot are doing the same. If we're not doing that, we're looking on Sky Sports, we're consistently consuming content, wants to know what's going on with our club, no matter how much we hate it. You know, football's an illogical business, like most sport, because it plays on our emotions. So we're always going to be here, no matter how much we sit here and say, don't buy the tickets, don't buy the shirts, don't do this, don't do that. A lot of that is right. We're still going to do it. People are still going to do it. If one season ticket holder says, no, I'm not coming back, 25 plus men are going to be fighting. Men and women are going to be fighting each other, probably smack up kids to try and get that. So they know we love this thing. You know, they know that we love it. And when, you know, death and taxes and your football team are the only certainties. Like, you can go through life, people, you know, and the only certainty is your club's going to be there. So he's going to pay on that. You know, we're at his mercy, really and truly. So why would he sell? And can any of this change? You know, in 20 years, there might be the new DG and the new Omar sitting here, and there's other Donny. So I don't think a lot of money, you know, everyone's got a price in it. Everyone's got a price, and Dangote's pockets look long. again, it'll probably take something ridiculous, you know. Let's just say what 7 billion. I wouldn't probably pay that for Arsenal because it's probably overpaying. And again, Dangote is a businessman, so it depends how much he wants it. And from a business point of view, you don't want to overpay for something. You know, it's not rocket science. You know, so we'll have to see. Big up yourself and big up all the members. Like he said, Arsenal is the residual check, man. You get it? It's the residuals. It's a little trading thing. It's a little crypto for him, man. He just checking it in. He probably got a little Arsenal app and just seeing what going. Bro, I bet he doesn't even know who Pepe is, man. Like, probably don't even know who Arteta is and them things. And you're right, man. I can't see him selling, man. I can't see him selling. That's fundamentally it, man. I don't trust anyone. Most people's words ain't ish, but with the current situation, I may give him. Bro, I'm on giving him a chance, bro. He can't do much worse than Kroenke, you know. I'd rather somebody who cares and goes about a mad way than a silent man like Stan. The only thing I like about Stan is I can't lie. Regardless, he's a good businessman. From without my love for Arsenal, he's a good businessman. And I do like some of the things where he doesn't necessarily, in some incidences, is not on just overspending. I think there's some good principles. Sadly, I love my football club, so he needs to keep it moving, people. Big up the Twitch gang. Please make sure you're following on Twitch, the Ludaguna187, people. Bro, what kind of funny business are you talking, bro? Deluded, would you take... Get out of here, man. What kind of funny business are you talking, man? Said, come out of here, man. You ain't got time for that funny business, man. What kind of nonsense you are. Big up all the USA tugs, man. You know, Georgia, you know. Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. I appreciate that, man. Like he said, it's all chattings, man. And that's it. Fundamentally, it might be chatting, but it's a new sort of chat. So give him a chance, man. I've just given away all ambition, you know. If Arsenal want me to dream, there'll be a day. But I can't sit here and just do things. Bro, it's not even ruthless. What kind of funny boy business? We're here talking about football and them thing there. And man are telling me, would I take winning the Europa League if man are gonna do the Saliba video? We all know what video that is. What kind of funny business are you dealing with? Like, go ask your dad, fam. Like, you gotta ask your dad, blood. Like, bro, Donny needs to ask his dad, fam. Like, he asking me. Like, big up yourself, Jaden. That means a lot, man. That really does mean a lot. It really does, man. And this is it. This is why, you know, I think the owner, chef, is the right direction, because from you've got the right owner, obviously, like you see with Roman, you know, if money or things aren't being done, you got to justify that, you know. So if Pepe isn't doing the business for 70 odd million, if Laka was bought, if Shaka was bought, if Runnison was bought, if, you know, Ceballos, Odegaard, Dennis Suarez, you know, all these loan signings, you know, which arguably the free transfers of Willian, it don't feel like someone's got an answer for this. This is what I meant earlier, bro, when I said it feels like man at this football club are just left to their own devices. You got owner who's silent, you got Edu and Arteta learning on the job, rightly and wrongly. So they're just doing a madness. That's what I mean. From you've got an owner, if you're going to spend 72 million on Pepe, you better damn well mean he's got to do it or your job's on the line. You never get that. And that pressure was a privilege. Like, I not to keep using Chelsea, but Abramovich only wants the brilliance. So Marina's got to do the thing, whether that's negotiating contracts or bringing in players, and you've got to justify that. Czech's got to do his thing. Tuchel was under no illusion while gone if he doesn't, you know, better what Lampard's been doing. You don't necessarily get that. You know, I don't think Arteta should necessarily keep his job if we fail. I don't feel he necessarily should be sacked, but I don't feel there's pressure. You know, and I'm not saying ridiculous pressure every time Arteta turns, you know, there's somebody looking at him. That's not what I'm talking about. I just feel sometimes Arteta's done things and I don't feel they're justified. So it's like, is he being asked the question, really? Because I look at it now, Arteta's basically levels with Edu. You know, he's the manager now. He's got ever importance in it. Kroenke obviously has to report to him, but, you know, where's that pressure? You know, he ain't really got a boss. He ain't really reporting to anyone on a day-to-day basis. So he's left to his own devices. So when he's playing Willian ahead of Reece Nelson, when Hector Bellerin is still in the lineup, when he's doing questionable things with our defense, they're not picked apart. When you're doing things like going out of the FA Cup, when you're risking, you know, when you're, you know, you've got to justify these things. I don't think he just has to justify them, really. He just has to justify it to Edu, and then that's him there, man. Moa said, big up DG. You don't really want Dangote to take over. Trust me, he's not the owner we need. Again, I know nothing about Donny, so and I know the man at the top right now is moving mad. So, and that's it. I don't even think it's about legacy. It's about money, fam. You don't care about no legacy. But what's Dan Kroenke's legacy? I know he's more successful in some sports than the others, but it's crazy, man. To be honest, financial fair play is there. You can get around that. Like, realistically, you can get around it. Arsenal, we've been scared of that for years. We thought that was going to level up the playing field. It's not. There's ways around it. And especially with COVID, I'm sure there's way around it, man. So, yeah, man. And this is it as well, man. You know, his refinery after completion would be the second biggest in the world. And after the completion, I don't see him buying it immediately that same year he finishes it. I guess he would still have to wait a while. I mean, he said 2021. It's 2021, man. Bro, I'm not a man for chattings, innit? I'm not a man for chattings. I'm not a man for chatting. It's like back in the days when you'll be chatting, disclaimer as well, because again, this is back in the days, but it'd be like back in the days when you're chatting to a girl on BBM and you know, she's saying the sweet things, you're saying the sweet things, and you're saying, soon meet up, soon meet up. The meet up never coming. She all lives in South London, you all live in North London. It's just selling dreams, isn't it? If it's gonna happen, she needs to gas it up and say, yo, dude, you come see me, sort of thing. That's where I'm at with Kroenke. If you, I mean, got Dangote, if you want this thing to happen, make it happen, did it? I can't do it to my heart anymore, you know. I can't dream with Arsenal. The only time I can dream and stuff is when I see Bukayo, Saka, Smith Rowe, these sort of Haaland players, you know. I can't collectively, Premier League, Champions League, you know, just looking like a team that gets it and reflects everything that I want it to see as an Arsenal fan. I can't put my heart through it again. You know, if it's like when we play against these big teams in the Prem, I always say if they want me to get I'll always support my team. That's the obvious, but I'm just stating it. But at the same time, you know, I want these players to show me they've got to give me aspirations and things like that. And I too often than not, I'm sure many of our fans, you know, just put our just hope and. I can't do it. So if he wants to buy it, I'll, like my man Zach said, and like this guy said, he's been talking about this forever. So on the sort of thing. So again, if he wants to do it, he'll make it happen, man. But I just think it's chattings, man. I just pure chattings. What else are you lot saying, bro? Bro, what's going on? Like, what's going on, fam? Like, I don't know what Donny's on, man, but there's always one that's got to ruin it. But big up all the others, you know, you lot that are locked in. There's 308 of you in here. Can we have 300 likes? 314. Can we get that to 300 likes, man? Come on, don't do the guy dirty, man. Yeah, man. And like he said, bro, there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. I want to be careful, but to get that sort of money or in business, you got to be ruthless and stuff. Scotty, good player with a good future. Shame he plays for that crap team, the other side of North London. I've done a video on him, so check that out if you have any, man. Oh, he done it to himself, bro. What else are you lot saying? What else are you lot saying? Big up yourself, man. I'm really appreciating the interaction and all these things that we've got going, man. Seeing the chat, very interactive, man. You know, what have you said? He's still got 19 years left of stadium debt payments. An owner that could pay that off would free up considerable funds for transfers and wages. Good point, Rich Head. You know, like one said, please make sure you hit the like button. Hey, big up all the people then reiterating those words for me. Yeah, man. Right, you traveled further than South London, man. Do you know what? Yeah, I've been on some journeys along my life, innit? If it's worth it, it's worth. Not anymore. Them days are up. Disclaimer, I know you can hear me. I know you're watching this, so it's all entertainment. It's all banter. You know, you do not need to go, you think you're funny? Yeah, just allow me in it. But we've all done some trips in it. Some more than others, man. It is what it is. Man said tube fare, bro. We're taking up the cabbies and them thing there, bro. You go mad. Bro, to be honest with you, I hope he does love the club, man, and I think he would, but I don't know that. That's like what you're saying, my guy. I think he does. From what I hear, I have to take a man's words at face value. That's what I believe. But by the same logic, my guy, I've got to take a man's words at face value. Everybody promise everything. How many of you promise? How many of you? It's not a job, but how many of you have gone for job applications and you kind of sold a bit of dreams? I can do this, I can do that. I'm on this, I'm on that. You got into the job, you're doing well, but every time they ask you to do something, you're like, these lot don't pay me enough. This and that, this and that. You see what I mean? I'm like that as well. The true colors come out in it. You tell them everything when you want something, but when it happens, you know, and whether it's buying a club, getting a player, you know, whatever, everybody in life is selling dreams, in it. Everybody's gonna whisper the sweet nothings, arouse your imagination, and then it's gonna be something dodgy. You know, it's gonna be dodgy. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, man. I appreciate that. Big up to you for subscribing, my guy. I hope you will subscribe to the thing and carry it on, man. Big up yourself, Temps, as well. You know, Lewis, shout out to you, my tug. You know, and this is why I do these live streams, because people like this. Just, you know, we're talking about football. We're just calling, man. We're calling. And you obviously got tapped brothers like that, man. Bro, what is this stream? DG woke up on the wrong side of bed. I didn't wake up on the wrong side of bed. I'm talking about football. I mean, I'm always calm. It's just if people want to move stupid, you know, from time to time, I've got to move stupid as well. Like, I don't know what you man take the stick for. You think I'm waking up? You think I'm waking up for bad to talk and ask me, do I want to see the man them recording them, one of the man them doing something if it means winning something? Come on, man. We're gonna get into the Benfica game soon. We're gonna get into Reece Nelson very quickly, man. You know, and this is it, Dangote. I'm all on that. You know, I'm all on that, my guy. You know, if you know, collaboration. If Dangote's got the common sense to say, yo, I love Arsenal and this and that, you know, but I need people around me. I need to find a David Dean. I need to bring in an Overmars. I need to do this. And that's what I'm on. Because whether it's a manager, a transfer man, not one, you know, it's not a one club man thing anymore. We need the right individuals now, and they need to have the right opinions, because in theory, collaborating is good. In reality, we all know too many chefs can spoil the meal sort of thing in the kitchen. But that's what we need, you know. It just seems like Kroenke is out of sight, out of mind. I kind of want a hands-on owner, you know. I want an owner which, when I'm watching the games on Sky Sports and it's at the Emirates, I'm looking on the TV and I can see my owner there. I can't see Kroenke there. Maybe in the occasional FA Cup final, he probably doesn't even know what team he's. Does Kroenke even know that we wear red? Big man thing, does he know we wear red? You know, come on, Mo. Come on, man. What do you make of Chelsea yesterday? Giroud scored, didn't it? I think they were better than Atletico. I was a bit disappointed in Atletico. Fair play, but it is what it is. I appreciate you lot for rocking with me, man. So it's nice to hear that you appreciate my work, and that the fact that I'm straight to the point, and in your own words, I don't dance around anything, man. So I appreciate that. I appreciate all the kind words you give me. I also believe that with Dangote as well, he just wants political attention, or to raise attention to whatever projects are going on and things, because he just chatting, man. He's just chatting. Bro, listen, I'm not talking, but everyone's got magic tape. Wait, Lewis, man went from Lewisham to Cheshunt. Bro, if that's not Halle Berry or the maddest of maddest, bro, if that's a decap, if you done that for a decap motor with bare mileage, bro, it's come back. A myth. Man are going Brom. Again, if it's a decap motor, that's a myth. You know, you can't be going that far for decats. But yeah, man, moving forward, in fact, you know, what have you said? One thing is for sure, Dangote wouldn't have bid 40 plus 1 million for Suarez, £1 for Suarez. Yeah, he probably wouldn't have tried that cheeky-ish. But yeah, enough about Dangote. Let's get into other business, people. Let's get into other business. 32 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Sorry, people. Manual timestamp. Various reports. Reece Nelson. Arsenal are open to offers for Reece Nelson after he struggled to break in to the senior setup on a regular basis. He failed to get a loan in January. You know, he hasn't played that much football. A mixture of Pepe finding form, Martinelli doing well, Saka being on job, Aubameyang playing out wide, and obviously on top of all of that, they're all justified, you know. And then you've got an unhealthy obsession Arteta has with Willian, and Willian's going to be here for the next 3 years on paper, 2 years including this year. So in theory, you know, the 21-year-old, he's not going to play much. He's played 2 times in the league. For me personally, people, I don't want Nelson to go. You know, I don't know if he's going to become a player of tomorrow. I don't know, but I don't want Nelson to go. Obviously a lot of it is Hay End, but there's no shame in him being lost. You know, like I've always said, some men are not going to go off and be regulars. You know, some people are not going to hit potential. You know, some man it's just not going to happen, which is cool. You know, our academy costs a couple million to run. If you can get a couple of million, to put it nicely, for Nelson and other players, they've done their job. And Nelson can leave with his head held high. He's been part of winning the Community Shield. He's played for Arsenal a couple of times. He's progressed through the academy. Of course, it's not quite what we heard, you know, the best talent since Wilshere. And you're seeing Saka and Smith Rowe, who were both spoken like that, doing their thing. For Nelson at 21, It's a shame, you know. And I don't think you should write off a man at 21. Not forget playing for Arsenal, just his whole career, you know. And this is where it is for me with Reece Nelson as well, people. Because again, if I scroll up a bit, you know me, I love a Google document sheet, people. Please ignore the Jamal Musiala. That's for a next video I'm gonna do, which isn't gonna be live. I should show you like the thumbnail. My thumbnails are improving bit by bit. But my points on Nelson would be this: like I said, ultimately, you've got to do the job in it. He's not doing the jobs. He's not playing. You know, from a sporting point of view, I don't really like the whole training comments and things because you're playing William. William's amazing in training, but not there. Arteta, I thought Arteta was going to be the guy for Nelson, and Nelson's got some ability. Clearly, you know, he started a game against Liverpool last season, and he played against, was it Chelsea? One of Arteta's first games at home. So I just don't think he's kicked on for whatever reason. I don't think Arteta, there must be something in Arteta's eyes. He's not showing something in training. It's either he's not kicked on or he's not rated, but the minutes don't lie, people. You know, like I said, minutes, starts, the pecking order's not kind. All of these point towards leaving. And for Arsenal, I don't mind it. You know, if you can get a decent fee for him and a sell-on clause, it's cool. Because like I said, 21, he's seen as not being able to make it at Arsenal. Your time's gone. He needs game time, you know, fundamentally, people. But at the same time, you know, he might not be levels now. But what if he's a good player a year from now when he gets game time? What if he's an England international at 23? What if he's more of a household name? Regardless of what you think, because I don't think you're wrong if you think Nelson is at levels. I don't think you're wrong if you think he is. My point is, I care about Arsenal being right on both sides. It's like the stock market. You know, many people will tell you it's going up, it's going down. You can't predict that. It's illogical like life. But what you can do is benefit from both sides. If he is going to develop, cool, we've got a first team player, let's not sell him. If you don't think he is, then cool, sell him. Put that little sell-on clause, you know, put that little sell-on clause to nice you. Make sure you get decent amount of money. That's actually why, you know, I know he's got about 2 years left on his deal. That's probably why I probably would loan him out. Because again, you don't know what a loan could do for him. You know, I don't think Smith Rowe set the world alight at Huddersfield. He had a great loan, but it weren't world beater stuff. How much of a platform did that set him? You know, a year later. Remember his first couple starts for Arsenal? He didn't take his chance, people. So again, for me, it's just a caring about if this player turns out to be something. And it does feel like Nelson has struggled, you know, but it does feel like there's something there. Like you can see here, people, football is a funny old game. And again, not to overstate them, but you look at Teller, who it was, you know, he couldn't get a game really in our reserves. He's now started for Southampton. You look at Josh Martin, couldn't play for under 18s, kind of getting opportunities in the first team at Norwich. So again, Nelson might not be rated here. He might go somewhere else and do something. You know, out of Nelson, Maitland and Joe Willock, I think Nelson's the sort of one I really want to be on the right side of things, people. I think Nelson can help us. Fundamentally, I'd rather Reece Nelson than Willian. I'd rather give him chances. And I feel with Nelson, it's about staying fit. It's about making sure you got the confidence. It's about the consistency, because he was starting to turn a corner when the Rapid Vienna times in December, and it didn't happen for him. But same time, I don't think he's developed enough. And I'm talking about his decision making. I don't think he's grabbed his opportunities. Maybe he's been comfortable here. So again, if Arsenal are going to sell him, make sure you got a good sell-on clause and you get a respectable sum, because football's a funny game. You might be looking at Arsenal dodgy now. He might not be, but he might become a player at 23. You know, you don't become a bad player overnight. For Nelson, I think you and your agents need to find a club, because you've wasted this season. Yeah, you've played little bits and pieces, but you're playing 23s. You know, the last 2 games, you're playing against Man City's 23s, while the other boys are playing the real thing. So we'll have to see. But as you lot can see, we're open to offers for Nelson after he struggled to break in. And, you know, there was a circus a few years ago about retaining him. And I still think he's developing. I told you lot from Hoffenheim days, you know, a lot of people were looking at his goals and 30-second clips and saying he's amazing. Sometimes he didn't score and played better. Sometimes he scored and shortly after that played poorly. I can remember his vivid loan spell there, people. You know, as you lot can see here, you know, Arteta makes Reece Nelson decision. And again, you know, I'm on selling Nelson. If you could sell him for a respectable sum, you sell on clause, he makes money for the team that can be reinvested. I'm for that. That's what our academy has to do. First and foremost, progress players for the first team. Second of all, obviously, you know, if it can't happen, let's go and make money. So if you can get something for Reece Nelson, Maitland Niles, maybe Joe Willock, why not? And it can be reinvested. You've got Miguel Aziz coming through. It is what it is, isn't it? You can bring in other players. It is what it is, people. I'd rather give Nelson the game time Willian has, and I do think I'm not really seeing much with the young players with Arteta. I know he's playing Saka a hell of a lot. I know Smith Rowe's been there, but I ain't really seen him put a hat on one of these young players. You know, Saka's there by default. You know, you can't, not that I'm using it against Arteta, but he was here. It was, it's one of them. It's like a Greenwood or a Foden or a Curtis Jones, and them one, you can't ignore them sort of thing. He's got 2 years left on his deal. So much like Guendouzi and these sort of players, a decision has to be made, and we're probably open to selling Donny. And like I said, if you loan him out, even if you don't want him, but if you loan him out and he starts playing well in the Premier League or somewhere else, teams might say, yo, this guy's a baller. Talking about next season. Let's go for him now. Let's give him he's got a year left. He showed what he's on. Let's bring him. Let's buy him. That could go from Arsenal, maybe, I don't know, getting 5 million now to getting 10 or any other example. Apparently, Arsenal will reportedly listen to offers for Reece Nelson this summer as Mikel Arteta looks to whittle down his squad. Bro, I'm going to be quite livid. I know you can't get rid of William, but Williams, who you need to cut, and again, is playing favourites. He spent the majority of the campaign on the fringe. He's only played twice in the Premier League. Both of those came from the bench. He lost his place in the matchday squad under Arteta, as you lot know. Moving away from that, according to CBS, Arteta is continuing to leave out Nelson in favour of Saka, Willian, and Pepe. Out of them, it's only you that I can't get it because you're just shit. As you lot can see, he's contracted for 2023. And for me, with Nelson, you've promised yourself you're going to stay and fight, and if it ain't going to happen, you've got to keep it moving at the end of the season, really and truly, man. Like you can see here, we had a few plans in mind with Reece. One of them was to send him out on loan to get more minutes because of the competition we have up front. To be fair, he was told in August go out on loan, but he wanted to stay and fight. Like Joe Willett, like Maitland, they've kept it moving. And I think you've wasted a season now, Nelson, man. You need to go somewhere consistently on a permanent basis where you're going to play people and whatnot. So these are all the reports. As you lot can see here, they're prepared to let him go. He's only 21. He's only made 9 appearances this season, 2 in the Premier League, played only 69 minutes. Again, like I said, the minutes and the starts, they don't lie, people. They don't lie. Moving away from that, in fact, not moving away from that, because I have to make that timestamp. We've obviously got, let me put this here. I want to stop writing on this paper because I'm actually trying to use that. But yeah, we've got Miguel Aziz talk, people. Big up everybody locked in. Close to 400 of you. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. I'm aware that I haven't spelled Miguel right, but I just want to talk this thing with you guys. Let's close that because it's the same thing. As you lot can see here, people, Arsenal in talks with WizKid Miguel Aziz, 18, over a new long-term deal. Now, he's 18 years of age. At 17, you can't sign a 5-year deal. You can sign a free max. So at 18, this is probably, on top of giving him his first pro deal, this is the sort of long-term one, like you see here, to tie him down. If you can get him, Arsenal are a bit funny with this. They tend to give you 3 years with an option of another, or do 2 with an option of another. Tie the man down for 5 years, innit? In that time, if he keeps developing, he will get a new deal and stuff. But I think he's one of these players that have a future. I do think people overrate Miguel Aziz to a degree, in a sense of nothing to do with him or his ability. People move like he's the Messiah. He's a young man that's going to learn a lot. Like, defensively is a glaring area. If he's thrown into the first team, he's going to struggle with. I think he can be a bit naive in that. I do think he can try force a pass, but these are all things you'd see in an 18-year-old. I do think he's got great vision. He's got great manipulation of the ball. He is an Arsenal player. And the stars are aligning. Spots are starting to open up. He's only 18, but I would expect him to get more appearances next year. I think he's of that level now where he's got to be thrown into environments where he's not going to thrive in a nice way. Because like you see it with the 23s, he actually hasn't, I wouldn't say played amazing week in, week out like I have seen with previous ones, like actually Joe Willock, Saka, Reece Nelson, actually, Smith Rowe, Iwobi when he got his look in, Maitland, I can remember vividly standout seasons. Miguel is yet to have that, not that it matters, but my point is he's got a lot of developing to do, and I'm happy to see this. And as you lot see, his current deal expires at the end of the season, which again, isn't a good look for Arsenal to have Miguel Aziz, Balogun, Kiddo, Taylor-Hart, who's behind them right now, running out. And, you look at Miguel Aziz. Remember when we had Yunus Musa? These were our brightest players. Remember, these men were like schoolboys playing 18s initially. So it's not a good look. And it tells me that you're being reactive, because let's just say Miguel says, F it. There's a German team that wants Donny. I'm off. We're in problems. So hopefully we find a resolution, because you can't lose Miguel Aziz after losing Musa, for me, we'll have to see what happens, people. But hopefully it's a good look. We can tie him down next season when he's 19. I expect him to feature a bit more. Still think there's a lot of development he needs to do, but he's a good player. He made his Europa League debut. He played in the preseason. You know, with Miguel Aziz, Charlie Patino, Amari Hutchinson. You know, specific centre mids, Ben Cottrell. You know, these sort of players. They should be players that can progress to Arsenal's first team or be sold for a handsome profit, in my opinion. So hopefully we get this one done, people, but we'll have to see, man. Big up Miguel Aziz regardless. He's a baller, man. Absolute baller. And yeah, man, I wonder who he'll play for because I think he's of Nigerian, Spanish, and English descent. I think it will be England, but you get the point, people. So yeah, man, that's the news in relation to the young one. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. This is about Mikel Arteta. We're going to get into that in a sec, people. I might as well scroll all the way down for when I'm prepared for that. That's my Jamal Musiala prep, people, courtesy of The Athletic. This is the Benfica preview. These are my notes. We're going to get into that in a second, but I'm conscious that I ain't been showing you lot enough love. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Please make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. There's close to 400 of you. For me, this is big numbers, people, you know. Big numbers, you know. 209 people. Can we get that to 300? You know, there's 341 of you watching. There's 209 likes. Couple of you are being lazy, you know. There's 211 likes, so a couple of you are being lazy, people. Up that one there for me, people. But what are you lot saying, man? I'm not gonna lie, I did think, remember when Wenger used to use Reece Nelson as a winger? You know, as a fullback, I did think that could be an avenue for him. I still think that could be an avenue for him, but it's a winger thing, man. It's a winger thing, man. And that's it. Whenever he finds his feet and stuff, he gets injured and you're back to square one sort of thing, you know, right back to square one. Fully facts, man, fully facts. And like you said, man, you know, he's got flavor in his game. I'd rather keep him. I'd loan him. I wouldn't want to write him off yet, man. And like you know, I'd give him another loan. And I think I'm trying to, right now, I think you're only getting 15. Really, I'm not selling him for less than 15, 20, regardless of if he's worth that or not. Really, that's the anything less. It's a bit mad, in my opinion. So we'll have to see, man. Big up yourself, Liam. Please make sure you rewind and take in the stream and get whatever nuggets you need to get out of this live stream, man. I do think. Do you know what I feel with Joe Willett? I don't think he's going to be anything to write home about, but I think he's got an ability to surprise you. And I think he has been doing that. I think the same for Eddie. So I'm not really sure, but I do think Nelson looks the most of an Arsenal player, but I'd love them all to make it here. But this is the reality of academy. You know, it's just really, it's tough for just one player to make it. So we've got Smith Rowe and Saka. These things happen in it. They've progressed through the first team. You know, whether we think Nelson should get more time because Willian or previously Maitland now should have got more time because of Bellerin's inconsistencies, that's cool. If one or two progress to first team, couple others can you be sold and reinvest. I'm all for that, man. I'm all for that, man. You're right, they don't sell. And fortunately for you, John Hill, we've moved away from that, man. Bro, there's nothing I can do, man. I can't control no one, my guy. I would love, you know, if someone's got the right way to get that man out the club, a real way, it's not gonna happen, bro. Like I can't. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Because people, especially, you see the thing about the Kroenke thing, yeah. Now that we're not informed as a football club, you know, now that we're not informed, everyone's got all the talk to speak about it and stuff. But if we were winning games and things, people say you're being negative, you're taking the gloss off things because they did that to Turkish. Shout out to Turkish. They did that to Turkish. When we was, I can't remember the year, but when we was winning and it weren't really a toxic place, man, we're saying, what's Turkish doing? He wants to make it all about himself. He, you know, AFTV this and that and the rest of it, you know, and it's not just Turkish, that happens with everybody. So you get it. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. We really have to see. Pattern up the ratio, like the man them have said, man. Oh, trust me. For me, I don't think it's a myth. I don't see why Nelson can't play on the left, on the right, or the 10, really and truly, or do a thing at wing back. I'm sure he wants to play as a winger, but you got to do stuff and be adaptable, man. You're right, man. Each and every time. Hit the like button if you're Kroenke out, man. Let's get the likes up, man. 300 is the target. What else are you lot saying, people? What else are you guys saying, people? Big up yourselves. Well, go on, Makili. Hope you're good. Hey man, don't apologize for being late, man. Don't apologize for you. Look at your own life. YouTube isn't gonna die. You know, if you missed the live stream, you know I bring the timestamps, and obviously it's still hosted on YouTube. So don't fret, man. You got your life to live and things like that, man. Mystic, I'm exhausted of talking about Balogun. I'll be real with you. You know, for me, it's like with what I just said about Aziz, you know, Balogun, we've seen other players leave. It's not a good look. You know, I want my club to be proactive. So if Balogun wants to leave, I say, all right, cool, we can make some bread. Not we're at his mercy because his contract's running down. So I think Balogun's off. Hopefully he stays. But like with Nelson, if I'm again, a lot of things probably, you know, he might and his advisors might want to wait to see what happens with Laka and Eddie and these sort of guys. But the starts, the not being in the match day, the people in front of you, the inconsistencies by the chat and stuff, this would tell me to keep it moving, you know, and stuff like that, man. I don't know who timed you out, but you must have said something from one of my moderators to draw you out, man. Really and truly. Big up all the moderators. I appreciate you, Dane, as well, man. Appreciate you, Dane. I appreciate all of you lot, man. Appreciate all of you lot, man. Have your guys heard another billionaire is it? You tried to get me, man. You tried to get me. You almost got me, man. But your mom be feeling the kid even on the greasy thing, man. Pattern up. Be smarter than that. You almost got it, man. But yeah, I don't know why you got timed out, man. Bro, I hope he is grooming him for that role. I really hope he is grooming him for that role so he can do his thing. You see, Courtney, great name, fantastic name. Shout out to your mum. But yeah, in relation to Mavropanos, it's a tricky one still because I do think on one hand, he signed a new deal last year to protect his resale value, and he's had a decent sort of loan at Stuttgart. So that might make it, you know, if we can get a decent offer for him, we might say, yo, you know what? Let's Mavropanos, you might become a 30 centre half, but keep it moving. We take that money, we get a centre half, which I would describe as a sort of bridge player, the same age as Pablo Marie, sort of, so that, you know, as much as I like Gabriel and I hope Saliba has a job here, we've got to be honest that, you know, 22-year-old, 23-year-old, 19, 20-year-old together, they would show their inconsistencies. And you know what? You'd have Gabriel, who's 22, 23 at them times there. Let's just say Saliba 20, Mavropanos, them sort of ages. That's 3 man holding around this sort of age as well. You'd have Marie. That's your 5 centre halves, but there's only 1 4 that's on this thing. I do think he is someone that could be sold to raise funds, you know, because we probably have too many centre halves that we've got to train up, you know, like Saliba is going to make mistakes. Gabriel's still going to make mistakes. Mavropanos is done it. So I would like all these guys to get chances, but you never know, bro. They try to do man dirty, you know. I find it funny when you lot try to do that. It's funny at the same time, you know. You do get that, but you got to be a bit smart. That one was bait, bro. When I see the word, I was like, nope. He almost got me, but shout out to you, man. You know, you got to wake up, man. You get me? Bro, you have to shout out to his mum, man, because he's, you know, must have done his mum dirty for him to come do them thing there. But moving forward, Daniel said, pick up yourself, DG. Tell Robbie and the man them over at AFTV to show you some love so that you can grow your audience, bro. I don't need no one to, I hear you. I don't need no one to grow my audience with respect, Daniel. We do this the hard way. I'll take the stairs, innit? No one can sit there and say they done something for man. Shout out to Robbie, though. You know, I don't know if I'm sectioned off from AFTV. Apparently, I said something on Twitter again. Apparently, I didn't say anything about AFTV, and that's probably why I ain't been on the shows. But I ain't gonna be for Robbie, you know. Shout out to Robbie, you know. Shout out to, you know, Ty, Robbie, Tao. You know, I don't know if you don't know Tao, but Robbie's businessman and them things there, you know. If they wanted to, they would. And you know, Robbie's a businessman. He's a big man. He knows where the engagement is. But you know, I'm happy to do my own thing and not take it away from man, innit? You know, I know it's difficult telling some sort of story in a dominated Arsenal market, but do you get it? You know, you still have to do it, man. You have to do your thing. I would take Saka to the Euros, but I don't know if he's gonna miss out, man. Ready for the comments, my guy. Big up yourself, Renison, as well, man. Lovely to see you here, man. Lovely to see you here. And this is the thing, Dermot, you know. This is the thing. I don't feel you always have to sell someone. You know, people were saying sell Smith Rowe. He's not good enough. He's not levels. Now they're worshipping the ground he walks on. But I do agree, you know, and I'd say that applies for me when you look at Bellerin. Xhaka's a bit older, but you look at Xhaka, you know, let's focus on Bellerin, in fact. We're still talking about man like he's 17, 18. You know, he's 25, turning 26, you know, been at Arsenal, you know, as you know, arguably you could say, you know, you know, Bellerin's as much of an Arsenal academy player as Saka, in the sense he's been here for a while. But when I look around, a 25-year-old who's been here and won FA Cups and been here under the greatest manager in my lifetime, you should get it. You don't get it. So keep it moving. It is what it is, man. This is it. I'll take the stairs, fam. You know, because more time when there's when someone wants to put you on or something, or you get on the elevator and things, more time it's at a cost. Like you might get there, but then there's a favor or something. You know, if I don't, you know, and I'm not talking about building with people, but do you get it, man? I take the stairs. No one can, because then when someone has control over my thing, they're almost a gatekeeper. You can't, you know. All I can say is that nobody's gonna outwork me, and I'm never gonna undersell myself, man. We're doing a preview in a sec, my guy. I'll clip it up and probably come out tomorrow and things like that. But we're gonna get into the Benfica game in a sec. I'm just loving the comments you lot are giving, man. I'm just waiting for your rants and Matisse video. Big up rants, big up Matisse. You know, again, you know, I don't really like the bigger YouTubers, if I'm honest with you, because I just find a lot of them rubby. But rants is a real one, and I got a lot of time for Matisse. So yeah, Thursday will be there, man. 2 more days, and boy, it's due to be an interesting one still. It's always an interesting one with Rants and Matisse. You know, you got Matisse, Mason Mount, FC to the death. Well, Rants is just a funny guy. Like you see some of the things Rants comes out with as well. Obviously, he knows his ball, but pardon me, comes out with what was it he said the other? What was it Rants said the other day about Messi? I can't remember it, but it was killing me on the stream, man. But yeah, big up yourself, man. And yeah, man, shout out Rant, shout out Matisse. We'll be back on Thursday, man. Thursday, I always forget the time. Thursday, 1 p.m, man. Golden Trio, man. No, I didn't go live with Curtis still, man. I need to hit up Curtis still. I flopped it still. I had a bit of things to do, but me and Curtis will pattern that. I need to shout Turkish as well, man. Get the gang back together, you know. Bro, hopefully fam. Do you know what it is? I might succeed in life, I might not, but you see my thing, I've got to attack it. You know, I can't just accept life. I've always been like that. My greatest gift and curse, I feel, is that I'm stubborn. Like, I can't accept life. Like, I had a long time. Like, I remember being, and it's always been like that. I remember, like, I was about 20. And I would sit down like, you know what, life has to be better than this, you know? Like, it feels like my life is being written for, man, in a way that I don't really like it. Like, regardless of who I am, what I look like, where I'm from, I don't want my life to be like this, you know? So you're right, man. I hope everybody listening gets their own success. And for me, one thing I've learned, if you want, not that you'll truly be successful, but I want to achieve what I want to achieve as much as I genuinely want to be alive. You know, there's not much I wouldn't do apart from funny boy things and, you know, selling my soul and stuff. There's not much I wouldn't do to succeed, and it consumes me. It keeps me up at night. So, you know, from you got that and you keep pushing, and I keep trying to change up my thing and go different ways. What can I say, man? I just want to look back, whether I succeed or fail, saying I gave every fiber into this thing. No one can say I didn't give it my all, sort of thing. So yeah. I'll drive Bellerin wherever he goes as well, to be fair, man. We have 4 decent players. I think we've got 7 at a push, but I'd see that. You know, we've got 4 that are really certified. I'd say Tierney, Gabriel, Partey, Martinelli, Saka, to be fair. That's 5 certified players for me. I would throw Aubameyang in that. You know, I'd throw Leno in that. I criticize Leno a lot, but you can move with Leno. I would throw Aubameyang into that, but he's not been scoring goals. I've got time for Aubameyang, and I've got time for the following names. You know, the Maitland-Niles, the Pepes, the Xhakas, the Lacazettes. I like these guys, but there's too many players, which I always say, you don't know which players are turning up. You don't know if I'm going to see the madness or I'm going to see bottling. I don't know what I'm going to see, people. So we'll have to see. We're at 293 likes, people. Please run that up, man. Let's 7 more people. There's 373 of you. You lot are being a lazy, freeloading frauds, people. In the words of Hugh Wizzy. Shout to Hugh. I see Connor saying he found me from Hugh. Big shout to the big homie Hugh for busting me. Another one, you know, the rants is, you know, the Rances, the Hughes. There's not that my opinion matters. There's not too many of these bigger guys I rate, because I used to have admiration for them, and then I started rubbing shoulders with them, just seeing how robbed everybody is. Like, they're all robbed. Like, most times these people got unhealthy, inflated egos. They all bitch about each other. They'll tell you they're on. You reach out to them to tell you they're on something, and they'll keep flopping it. They've all and that's okay. But it's just like, I don't rate you lot. Like, I wouldn't rate you lot before this thing. I'm not gonna rate you lot after this thing. So fuck everybody. Pardon my language. You know, we link up with the real ones and we keep it moving in that regards, man. Bro, what have you said, You said Dangote said he was gonna buy us in 2021, 2 years ago. Now he's actually gonna do it. My man delivered. He ain't delivered until I see the Sky Sports yellow bulletin and he's owning the club. Big up yourself, Connor, man. And I'm on building with. I'm not on someone building something for me. You get it? So when you see me with Curtis and people like that and Rant Show and Matisse, this is what I call building. We're with each other in this thing. It's a thing like that, man. So yeah, man, it's a thing like that. And I'm living this. How I'm living a day in the future. That's why it's podcast day today. I mean, that's why it's the preview today. I mean, a day behind. Because yeah, you're right. It is Thursday tomorrow. So yeah, we're gonna get into that in a second. Really, hit up the like button. I did see what Deanie said. A bit harsh from Deanie. Bit harsh from Deanie to get at Ty like that. Bit harsh, bit harsh. But that's it in that regards, man. What have you said? Presley said, yo, I rate you, even though I'm only one subscriber. And to be honest, I'm well excited for new owners. We need to run the club better. Agree with your club point. Thank you very much for your high opinion of myself, man. What's already understood doesn't need to be explained. If you don't understand, you don't understand. I'm not going to carry on. Let's get back to football. Come on, my guy, man. It's life. Nobody wants to be in a rave first. Who wants to? I don't want to be in a rave where there's no galley. The music's not even playing really. I can still walk across. No one wants to be in a rave first. That's the way I look at it, sort of thing. Come on, shout out to who is, and it means a lot, man. It means a lot. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you guys. You lot are gassing me. You lot are bringing a tear to the guy's eyes, man. You lot are saying some real stuff, man. Shout out to you lot, man. Shout out to you lot, man. You lot are real, man. Yeah, you lot are real, man. Man said, you lot kill me, fam. You lot kill me. You lot kill me. I appreciate these kind words, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Catball Squeezer said, "Would you go on?" Of course, I go on Filthy Fellas if it presented itself. I have to be war ready. Cause I see the way they carry on and how they get down. I don't think it's gonna be like my channel where it's calm. You gotta be, you gotta be on this. But I'll definitely go on it. It's the jungle. But you're right, man. You're right, man. Progress, Devon. You'd have to just keep preying my videos. I don't know. There's nothing more I can tell you that I haven't already said. They're all progressing well. You're seeing Patino starring for the under-23, starting now. Azizi's talked about getting a new deal. Catalan Surgeon, he's been all right. Probably for the last couple of weeks, a bit quiet, but he's doing all right, man. He's doing all right. Ben Cottrell, for me, needs to go on loan next season, wasting away now. He's of that level where he needs to keep it moving, people, really. 80 million, 80. I'd probably keep him, but 80 million, I'm not gonna lie. I say keep him. I can't let everyone's got a price. 80 million is a big fee, but it's like, who are Arsenal gonna buy? And really, what's 80 million gonna do for you? I'd have to really sit down and think. So yeah, we have to see, man. We have to see. Probably, but shout out to Rants. You get me? See, it doesn't matter if you found out through Rants, through Hugh, randomly YouTube. I appreciate, however, whatever journey you've taken to get to my channel, I appreciate you guys, man. I would personally keep Guendouzi personally, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Bro, bare attention junkies in this space. And I get it. That's the dynamics we live in, just jumping up and down does your thing for you. It's one of them stuff, man. Oh, I'll collab with anyone, man. £1 million. Nah, man. I know I'm sounding like I'm capping, but nah, man, because I'm not going to be able to sit here and say that. And that would, as much as I want £1 million, that questions my integrity. Arsenal, I look at it like I look at life. Like, it's a loyalty thing. So I'm not going to sit here and cap, but yeah, man, it's a mad thing, man. Absolute madness. Nah. It's a DG day off, man. Tomorrow we go again. I might. Don't write it off. It might happen, but nah. I think I'm just gonna enjoy that one day on the TV, man. I think I'm just gonna enjoy that one on the TV. I appreciate that. What would I do with Ceballos? Well, unless I see a real uptake in form consistently, not just playing well game to game. To be fair, his last 2 games he's been quality. Go back to Madrid in it, because I don't feel, and I think that's sad. Is that when Marie came here, when Marie, when Ceballos came here, I was thinking, yo, you're gonna show Madrid what they're missing out, and I haven't really seen that. I've seen a good player technically, but it just feels like something's missing, and I think that's quite sad in that, if you told me when we got him, if I was going to say a year or two again, that if he was to leave, I wouldn't cry or be any, upset. I think that's it. And I do think Arsenal would want another midfielder in. I do think there is legs in the rumours of keeping him permanently. I'm not against it, but 22 million at a time where we're kind of broke, and we might be able to take that money and pull it towards another midfielder, which is, can do what Partey does and play with Partey, or someone that's going to give us a bit more confirmation as to what they're like. That might be it, really and truly, because if we have to watch our pennies a bit more, we can't afford to waste the peas, people. Surely, I appreciate that. Man said, DG, my goat, none of the Messi or Ronaldo nonsense. I appreciate that, man. Watching your growth is inspirational. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Sometimes I'll be just doing stuff and I'll see a little message like, yo, just by clipping up this little vid for me, it makes it easier for me. That's why I clip up a lot of the streams, just so, because I just know that one person, it might not get views, but I know that one person, it's made their life easier. Or, yeah, I've been listening to you since this, or you helped me with this. I get a lot of moving messages, and I'm like, little old me, just talking about YouTube is giving you this value. So, if I can keep someone going, if I can ultimately, especially in times like this, give someone some sort of joy or something to look forward to, then that's a win in my eyes, really and truly. And I'm amassing a real community here. I always see the same sort of names. You always, it's nice to hear, bro. It's nice. It feels like we got a little family going on, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you. You lot are some real ones, man. You lot are some real ones, man. What are you talking about? Rance has about 50, and I listen, but big man, Mystic, with all due respect, my guy, it's what's already understood doesn't have to be explained. If you can't understand what bigger YouTuber means, then I can't really help you, man. I like to get to the raves early and lock off my space. Dead. I like to get there late. Gally see a man bopping, and that man's got a bottle and not now, but the fresh haircut, looking around like, yo, what gone be? But yeah, let's stay awake. I remember people are watching this. Let me stay in character and them thing there, man. But moving away from this, please hit the like button, people. It's really been appreciated being with you lot on this, man. The engagement's been great, man. It's been great. I would like is that, did he not score his hat trick the other day? Now he's a guy that, there's a bit of risk behind it. We don't know if it's going to be 30, but yeah, man, that's what we need. That's exactly what we need, man. We've got a fucking idiot here. Don't mean to get into rate. On behalf of every black person, suck your mum, you dickhead, man. What kind of nonsense is that? It doesn't matter if you're black, white, whatever. If you're the best man for the job, you're the best man or owner for the job. If you're not, regardless of your black, white, you're not the best man for the job. Stop. Don't be an idiot, man. Bro, it's better to be late to the rave, man. It's better to be late to the rave, man. That's what you're trying to mop in, man. Plus the pre-drinks and that. Half the time, me and my man, we're late to these raves anyways, We're late, we're all there when the doors are about to close and that. Like, what you mean? Like, allow me, man. So yeah, man. We'll have to see. I appreciate that. Considering you're a United fan, you got F all to do with my channel, but you're a fan of real content, so I appreciate that, man. I'd love a show where it's you waxing Hugh on a weekly basis. Hey, Hugh he's the big man. He's got to make that one happen, bro. That man there have to make that one happen. Get at him, man. Get at him. You know me, I'm on anything, but everyone's got their own life to live and stuff. And that, man. You've never been to a rave party, yeah, man. It is where it's. Collect, bro. Collect, bro. Collect, man. Shout out to you, man. Don't worry, I ain't been to a rave in a minute either. Like, don't worry, my guy. Don't worry. I love it, man. Do you know how much I really want to be licked off the Henny and the Ray and Neff and all of those sort of things and that, man. Bro, them look, these man just think I'm here just talk about football, but I'm a live wire, man. Like, hot boy and them thing there, man. Man said he'll take more than a bag to be a Spurs fan. I ain't gonna lie, bro. For £1 million, I'll put on the Spurs share. But as for in relation to supporting them, I don't know. I don't know. Bare flashbacks, my guy. Fun fact, was supposed to be on that. And then my old boss cop blocked it and ruined it. I was meant to be on Man United versus Arsenal, you know, the away one where Arsenal were the away side, man. Not if we're the ones locking it off, rude boy. But you know, from you using terms like roadman, you know, you don't know about this thing really. But anyways, you know, bro, if you're not an English team, I don't really care. So I mean, if you're not Arsenal and you're an English team, I don't really care. So I'm sure Gladbach could present them problems. You know, I'm sure Gladbach was in the same group as Inter Milan, Real Madrid, and Shakhtar, and Gladbach defo gave Madrid stress. And one thing I think with City, Pepper's overcomplicated it in Europe. So that might be something that they need to be aware of, people. In my humble opinion, it might come back to haunt them. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Members, you know, I asked you lot for your Q&A questions. I'm going to ask you lot again on the tabs. I'm probably trying to do that Friday, Saturday, one of them times there, or Monday, the latest. So I'll come back to you, but I need you lots of questions and whatnot, man. And Bance, that's the funny guy, in it. Shout out to him, man. Man said story time. Big up yourself, Lewis, man. Big up yourself. I appreciate having all of you lot in here, man. But yeah, man. Man said the energy and positive is contagious. You know, it means a lot, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. Did you hear Xhaka's comments? I did, you know. And before we get into the preview, we might as well quickly jump into that. So as you lot can see here, big up Chris, you know, big up Chris. As you lot can see here, apparently Granit Xhaka spoke on social media abuse and a couple of other things, people. Apologies really quickly, you know me. I will forget the actual time we spoke about this. So, you know, what's that? 1, 10, say 20. Xhaka. Sorry, people. Sorry. But moving back, going back, people, like you could see, Xhaka, based on what Donny said here, I think he means all the others. I'm not going to speak about Xhaka's talking about the Champions League and all of these things, although he has said, I think we still have a lot of games in front of us in the Premier League. We can take a lot of points. Of course, it will be very difficult, but we believe in us. I don't think your gaffer does, based on the sort of lineups we're saying. If mathematically we are still in it, I don't give up. But of course, the Europa League is very important for us because we know if we win it, we go into the Champions League direct. I think Mikel said after the game, it's a final game, a cup game. If we win it, we're through. If we lose, we're out. We prepare ourselves very good and we're focused on the game on Thursday. I knew I wasn't going to say I was going to read that out, people, but facts, you know, there's still a lot of points. So unless it's mathematically impossible, even if we do win all our games, we're relying on other teams around us, keep going. You know, and again, you know, if you get to the final, it's an issue. But based on the first 90 minutes we've played in the knockout stages, are you getting to that final? Have you got the bottle to get to that final? You know, I don't think Arsenal are good enough to throw all our eggs in the Europa League basket and say, fuck the league, pardon my language. We're going for the Europa. That's it. I don't feel we're good enough to say, you know what, Europa is what it is. We're going for the league. This is why we need to do both. This is why I have a hard time when people want to choose. There might come a time when they chooses, but it's not right now. In August, the players, I know me as a fan, but are the players and whatnot, are they not looking at this? Are they not looking in August for this period, you know, in the league? You know, you saw City, Leicester, you know the Europa League is to come into it and things like that. There's problems in that regard. So it is a cup game, you know, but I'm still seeing shades of the Olympiacos clash. Hopefully they learn from it, people. Lewis has said, what's the best way to contact you for business, DG? Hit me up on Instagram, or the email address on the Instagram, or actually on my YouTube main page. And yeah, man, we tell whoever wants to do that, just they're there, innit? When asked on how the season's gone for Xhaka, he said it's complicated. We started very well, and after we had this run where we're not winning, we came back and we're winning. Yeah, and this is it. We're hot and cold. There's no consistency. You know, now it's up and down where we're winning, losing. And again, that inconsistency is down to you lot. But in my opinion, we need a run again. 4, 5, 6, 7 games to win. And if this happens, we can be higher in the position than we are. And again, this one thing I keep hearing is ifs and buts and ifs and buts. You know, I'm not disagreeing with what Jacques is saying, but I don't listen. Jacques is a character. I have to assume that he's speaking for everybody, but I don't always hear this language based on it. It seems like every player has something different. That's what I want to hear. And like he said, I don't think we deserve to be where we are at the moment. First thing I've disagreed with. Yes, we fucking do. Pardon my language. Yes, we do. We can talk about we've lost games by fine margins and refereeing, but too often than not, conceded cheap goals, not killed teams off, not been consistent for large periods. You know, simply put, there's no hiding place. What you do on the training ground, whether it's a lack of, whether it's not doing the right things, it all comes to life on a match. We do deserve to be there. The table doesn't lie. Nobody in this Premier League is in a position that they don't deserve to be in. City are there because they're doing bits, you know. Everton and West Ham are at the top end of the table because they're doing what they're doing and they're putting in big performances and winning big games. We deserve to be where we're at. Don't lie about it. This is where we're finding positives where there's none. Let's be real. Whenever we're trying to be real, these Arsenal players, and Xhaka is here, he always sprinkles in a bit of nonsense. The last few weeks, in my opinion, was good. Statistics don't lie. Results don't lie. We have some games where we're unlucky. You don't have games where you're unlucky. Of course, there's games where you play poorly. Of course, there can be 1 or 2 times across the season where you've dropped points and you can say you've been unlucky and it weren't your day. When you've got 4, 5, 6 games, that's not unlucky. That's something you lot are not doing. You make your own luck. The game against Wolverhampton, where the first half was amazing. Yes, we were done unlucky with the red card and the pen, but David Luiz conceded that pen because he's out of position. Like, it's not unluck. You know, and obviously Leno was doing dumb-ish as well, and he spoke about being with 9 men. So again, I promised I wasn't going to speak about everything about Xhaka, but it's quite interesting hearing what he's saying, people. In relation to Arteta, he said, it's difficult to say if this is my best season or if I'm in good shape. The only thing I feel is that I have a lot of confidence in my coach and I'm in a very good place physically, but as well mentally. This is key for my game. For me, everything has to be clear for what we have to do on the pitch. The coach is helping me a lot. Everyone knows he's one of the reasons why I'm still at the club. I have a very good relationship with him and he's helping me day by day on the pitch, outside the pitch. And I'm very thankful for him because if you have one coach who gives you the confidence and freedom, it's more easy for the player. When asked on what advice he's been given in terms of freedom, you know, he said he was a midfielder, so he knows the position exactly. I'm not going to bore you lot. We know he hasn't played a lot with Thomas Partey. Obviously, the manager believes in him. He was then asked, does he see himself at the club long term? He always said, if I'm honest, I saw myself in this club. I didn't come to this club for 2 or 3 years. I came here for the long term. Of course, you never know what happens in football. And after what happened with the fans 1 year ago, nobody was thinking I'd still be here and speak with you guys. This is football. Sometimes things happen. I'm not going to read the rest. When Art says it helped him, he said, I'm not the guy who is scared to play in front of fans. And that's one thing I admire about Xhaka. He says it how it is. He's not afraid to be himself, regardless of it. You know, I don't think he's as bad as footballers people make out. I do, however, think you're a squad player at best, because I do think I see why Arteta wants you. You want to try and play with the ball and dictate the tempo. But I think if someone of Granit Xhaka standards going to be in your team to be the main guy to do that, you're in trouble, realistically. Obviously, he wants to play in front of the fans. He said, would it be a fair assessment to say your role is more focused now? Yes, everything has a particular reason. Mikel is unbelievable how he sees the game. The key for one player is to understand the philosophy and how the coach wants to play. I think I understood his game very quick. He puts me in a position where I have the freedom and the game in front of me. This is what I'd like. I don't like to play with my back to the opponent's goal. Oh, we know. It's as well as something very positive from the coach. And yeah, man. You know, he then bigged up Pepe and things like that. He then spoke about the social media abuse, which is what I actually wanted to speak about. He said, it's one of many, if I'm honest. If I showed the others what they write, I think I have to close my social media. And even me as a small YouTuber, brother, I get a lot of praise from you guys. If you see, bro, I've seen racism. You know, I delete them, but, you know, people have wished illness on me, my family, you know, hope I die, you know, just bare bad mind stuff. So I could only imagine as a footballer the sort of nonsense. And me, I brush it off in it, because I know it's sick, it's sinister. People shouldn't be doing it. But I know, man, I'm not going to say, there's probably out of the 100 people that probably say that to me, there's one sickhead that might say it. And I don't know about no one else. But I don't care how big you are. And I'm not the biggest. I'm on scrapping. So You know, I'll deal with that one. But the majority of people are cowards. They're not on the scrapping. And like Xhaka, you just have to take the territory, people. But it's ridiculous. Like he said, you know, you can criticize the man, the player, but the minute you're being personal and talking about a man's heritage, you know, abusing his little kids and stuff like that, and his wife, you've gone too far. But most sane people don't need for me to tell them that. As you lot can see here, people, I say that before, I say that now, and I will always say it as well. It's only about me. I'm the one on the pitch. It's not my wife. It's not my little one. It's not my family. If you want to criticize someone like a person, like a player, no problem. Criticize me. But I don't get other people involved because they have nothing to do with my job. Secondly, I have a lot of help from the club. It's something we have to speak very openly about. We don't have to be quiet and say, keep it with me, because it's not always easy. And social media in football is a new thing. How old really is it? And we've already seen incidences of Eddie Nketiah, you know, Runnison, rightly or wrongly, locked off his account. You know, there's got to be something to be done around it. And I don't blame people when I see Maitland-Niles and maybe David Luiz and Rob Holding still have it. Their account is, they might have changed it, but it's how do you make it make sense? Like, only if you're verified or they follow you, you can comment on their thing. I don't disagree with that. I unfollowed Rob Holding because obviously I want to big you up and stuff, and I can't. What's the point? But I get it, people. You know. And again, like he said, the problem is only if you lose. It's not a problem when you win. If you lose, everybody hates you. Everyone writing you things where it's not possible to understand how they're writing stuff like this. I wish I could meet the people who write these things, sit with them eye to eye, and ask why you're writing these things. And they wouldn't do it with Xhaka. They wouldn't. They wouldn't tell you. Half of these people wouldn't carry on with the F3 they're doing. But that's their domain, innit? That's where they get their kicks, rightly or wrongly. This is their man there. So it is what it is in that regards, man. Sort of thing. You know, please make sure you run up the likes. We're almost at 400 likes. Come on, people, run that up, man. You know, big up everybody locked in. Can't believe the engagement is moving this certified today, people. Shout out to everybody locked in each and every time. So yeah, man, run up the likes, man. To be fair, I don't think he hides. My only problem is he's just not certified. He's just not a good player. But I don't think Xhaka doesn't hide. I don't have Xhaka down as a pussycat. That's one thing I give him. You know. And this is it, man. You know, this is it, fam. You know, too many squad players, too many men that are squad players. You know, too many men that are squad players. You know, they're not bad players, but collectively they're a bad bunch. They're a bad team, man. You know, it's a madness. It's an absolute madness. You know, bare squad players, bro. I'm not, you know me. I'm not a bad boy. You know, I've grown up where, you know, I don't say things unless you know. I've grown up like you lot, you know. If you're from London and certain parts of London, like certain other regions in the world, you know, I've been brought up to not say things that I don't mean. Like, speak with my chest. Don't say sinister things, but speak with my chest. And there's certain things and certain comments and certain ways and things I hear. If that's said to me, or if I say that to someone based on how I've grown up, that's fighting talk. So I'm not going to say it unless I'm ready to throw scraps. Like when I say, pardon my language, suck your mum, you know, that I'm ready to scrap someone for that. Because if someone said that to me, to a degree, I'm ready to scrap. That's fighting talk. That's how you've grown up, you know. So anytime I say that, I'm ready to scrap, you know. So it's a thing where I don't say things. I treat everybody with respect. I don't say things that I won't say offline, you know. Bear man are like that. You know, you've got, you know, you can do a madness online. You know, I could be a black man in real life. On the internet, I could, you know, get some pictures, make some deep fake videos. I could be some random white guy, look, I'm a 25-year-old black man. On the internet, I could be a 50, 70-year-old white guy from a whole different region of the world. And this is what I hate. People can hide behind these sort of things. Big up the Twitch gang, man. And it's nonsense, you know. For me, I've got no sympathy for racists, for people who do madness, for people who do madness online. You know, I just think the only way is a slap, you know, because I don't think these lot have grown up in life knowing that you can't say certain things to certain people without getting a box in your mouth and licking out your front teeth. You know, this is how it works. Some people go through life just thinking they can move mad, and this is what happens, really and truly. You know, this is literally what happens, man. It's a joke thing, man. Man said, you lot would sack me. Like, oh, why is DG going for this youngster from Birmingham when we told him to get this? He's out. Tell him to stick to football. I guess you can't please them all, man. But that's what Xhaka had to say anyways, folks. That's what Xhaka had to say. Please get the likes up, man. Please get the likes up, man. Please get the likes up, man. Hey, man. Hey, I'm 25. I'm 25, bro. But, you know, I do have a young face. If your honey out there thinks a guy looks 18 and she's on the cougar thing, Tell her to come invest in DG. You know, I don't mind getting a two bit and and some peas. You know me. You know my thing. So, you know, if they like the baby face killer, your mum knows who to shout if she want me in her. Like, you know the thing. But like you said, generation of internet gangsters, bro. Internet gangsters, people, bro. Not been through anything, no accountability. Not, you get me. You lot of, this is why I do this, because you lot know how it's set. You don't say certain things. You don't carry on set. And for me, it's just to know, it's just the fact for me is that, just why would you say this? Forget, if you say certain things, you should be ready to do something and ready to expect a lick in your mouth and all of these sort of things, people. Why do people why do people come out and wish illness on people, let alone man's family members, let alone the elderly and young kids, whether you're black, white, or whether, the many different racisms and different ways of that's it for me. Like, why, bro? Like, why is this in your heart? Like, why is this, like, what has made you want to do this? Like, this don't make sense to me. This is evil. Like, that's where I can't get past. And then obviously it's the other points I've said. It's sad, man. It's sad, man. Bro, man that do things like this are cowards, man. You know what the thing said. It's like my man Andrew said, man are cowards, Out of the 20 people that probably racially abuse Xhaka off the top of my head, there'll probably be one man that's on chucking it in his face. And Xhaka's background, he's on scrapping. The others be like, oh, I didn't say that, Xhaka. I want a picture. It's a joke, mate. And all of these sort of things, man. It's crazy. Absolute crazy. No, I'm not live, mate. I'm not live. This is just a video being played and streaming from my location. It is where it is in that regards, man. Bless you as well, my guy, man. Big up yourselves, man. Big up yourself, Em, as well. I don't know about preaching, man. Of you fouting, I'm on a Benjamin Button thing, bro. I told you, look, I'm gonna have sideburns before Arsenal win the league, and my friends get on to me. I don't think I look like him, but they call me Zaytoven. Like, if you lot saw friends are, I don't even think some of my friends are my friends. The way they rip me, I'm sure you will get bantered. I get absolutely ripped, man. Absolutely ripped to shreds, man. Hey, man. Bro, do you know what it is? Because for me, I can't lie, I was a rattler in school, innit? So I know how to rattle. I know getting at someone's mum is the closest, You've seen people, you'll say something about someone's dad, like, what you on about? Say something about mum. What you say about my mum? It's like Nobby said, man, cowards who would never say it to your face. That's it, man. And I don't want to say these are a small minority and all of these sort of things, but it's sad, man. It's sad. And I don't blame, I don't know how to react to social media, man. Still, I don't know how they react to social media. I don't, because it's still a new phenomenon. All I would say, I think the best way with social media, and to be honest, fundamentally, I think social media can be used for good. We live in a day and age, I said it before, there's never been a better time for me from my opinion, to be a football fan, because again, some of you are older than me that are listening to this. And, in my young age, I've grown up with the internet being introduced. I've seen myself go through when I wanted to hear Thierry. When I found out Thierry Henry was leaving, I saw it in the newspaper that my neighbor held. Now, now we know everything about a transfer. You're seeing even my little interviews with the youth players, and other channels are doing youth ones and bigger players and stuff like that. There's all different sort of social media videos where, social media's brought man closer with footballers, but at the same time, people overstep them boundaries, like you see. So my advice would be, and I think it's sad because you should be able to use it. I would make, genuinely, if I'm a footballer, I'll make a private burner account so I can obviously use Twitter to, look at whatever I want to look at. Your actual account, I'll give it to management, rightly or wrongly, give it to management. Just don't look at it, rightly or wrongly. You might miss a lot of praise and things that keep you happy, but just leave it, man. Just leave it. Bro, I remember I've seen someone get stabbed over Facebook, people. Like, I've seen someone get poked over chatting shit on Facebook. This is why you got to be easy, but let's move away from that. I'm 25, my guy. Oh, man. Bro, it's war. You got to be able to chuck it, bro. Ironically, not really, Not really. Which is, I'm quite paro about that sort of stuff, really. Not really, Then we say, you look at it, which I take that, man. It's better than what it's been before. Take that. Still legal to cut the thing, innit? Hey, man. So, yeah, man. Moving away from that, though, I know we've been here for a minute. It's been fantastic, people. It's, hit the like button. We've almost been here for 90 minutes. I don't know why, but these things fly faster than when I'm doing the watch-alongs. Like, I would really feel like I've been here for 90 minutes. But closing up, people, I guess it's time to get into the Arsenal versus Benfica business, people. Benfica versus Arsenal business. So let's do exactly that, people. So yeah, as you lot can see, apologies, people. Arsenal versus Benfica. I'm not going to bore you lot at all because you lot already know. For me, fundamentally, can you lot see properly? If you can't, little zooming in thing. Fundamentally, it's only half time in this tie, people. It's only half time. It's 1-1. If it stays like that, we go through. But it's half time. Shades of last year in the sense of against Olympiacos in the first leg, didn't kill off the game, and we all know how the rest ended. So shades of last year. I heard Mikel Arteta say we've learned from our mistakes last year. Based on the last 90 minutes, we didn't, because I think we flattered Benfica. Watching the game again, I think we flattered Benfica heavily, because don't get it twisted, I think they did well in that back three. I think they did very well. They limited our space, but we know we can't break down a low block. There was a lack of movement. There was a lack of stuff with us. So when you see these unhelpful incidences, which was like what I call as an unlucky penalty for Smith Rowe, you ain't got a leg to stand on. If you put the game to bed before that, that's a consolation strike. So shades of last year. For me, it's a cup final for us. Big questions if you don't win it. Questions on the players. I don't think Arteta will get sacked even if he loses it. But considering you've gone out of the FA Cup, the league is mathematically still there, but it's a bit shaky. You've got questions, because I do think as much as that, Arteta would have to face questions, because again, you would show me he didn't learn. Last year, I think the second leg, you threw it away. I mean, the second leg, the players threw it away. I think the first leg, your tactics let you down, and I haven't seen any improvement in that. It's a different sort of game, I hope, because like somebody said, someone asked me about the clean sheet. I hope we keep a clean sheet. I don't think we will, purely because surely Benfica at some point, maybe from minute one, maybe from the start of the game, I don't know, but they're gonna have to come at us. If the scoreline remains 0-0, we are through. No matter how much we were unimpressed with that game, we're through, people. We're through. So they're gonna have to come at us. So again, if they go with a back three, it's probably more of an attacking back three. Maybe they'll revert to a back four. All I care about is, can you take advantage of these gaps on the counter attack and the transition? They're technically out, as I said, if it remains like this. So again, it's a cup final. Arteta sold it. He's rested players in the Man City game, so he's put all his eggs in this. And this tells me you back Arsenal to get Champions League via the Europa League, then the league. There's two big games this week. February hasn't been kind to us. Can you get a win and a bit of momentum, because we haven't got too many wins? And you're going into Leicester on Sunday. Brendan Rodgers' side are flying high. Telemans is playing well. Kusanya, I can't say his name, the fullback, is playing well. You've got Vardy doing his thing historically this season. Maddison and Barnes, they know Gareth Southgate is monitoring them. He's at their last game, and they will present problems to us. Team news, I think Partey's back in training. Holding will miss out due to concussion. So, bro, I don't need to bore you lot. Just by looking online, people, last time we had a home tie at Highbury with Benfica, which was before my time, this is a couple of years before I'm born, they actually won. So maybe, certain things can happen in that regards, people. All I care about is learning the lessons from the last game, putting the game to bed. I want to see 45 minutes come. You've scored 2-3. There's nothing else there, and these are some lessons from the last game, movements. Players need to do more than the minimum, Players are just happy to do the minimum. I need to see someone make a run beyond the defenders. People stretch the team. If you don't shoot, you don't score. If you don't hit the target, you're not going to score. 7 shots, 2 on target. And I can't really tell you the shots we had. We all remember Aubameyang's missed chance. Learn your lessons. Ultimately, I feel character has been missing from our starting 11 or our team in the last 2 games. I didn't see character against Man City. I didn't see it against Benfica, only from the same names. Can you show me that? They had a good system, but your sluggish start and how you just played made them look better than they are and flattered them a lot. I don't want to talk about these things after the game, people. It's as simple as that. In relation to my lineup, people, big up Skyto for becoming a member again. Shout out to you, my dude. But in relation to the members, to the lineup, again, for me, it picks itself. And again, this is all without team news. I do think Bellerin will play, and so will Aubameyang. I'm not against Aubameyang playing left wing, but I just feel, You know, you being our captain, you historically being our top goal scorer, I don't think it's helping. You know, you missed a sitter against Benfica. You were nowhere to be seen against Man City. Of course, if he starts and scores, he makes himself a hero. Of course, if it's a cup final based on Arteta, you want to play with your captain. But for me, I pick the best players, and I think Leno is undoubtedly that. For me, Cedric would move over to right back. Bellerin's just not levels. David Luiz comes in just because Rob Holding isn't fit, and I don't think he's going to go with Marie and Gabriel. Tierney, if it plays for me, you know, I'd play Xhaka and Ceballos. Again, Partey's returned to full training. I hope that means he can play, but I'm not counting Partey because I don't know if Partey's playing. Obviously, I'll go Partey and Ceballos, but I'm going Xhaka and Ceballos. I don't think Odegaard, you know, I personally, you know, Odegaard is still learning and stuff like that, but for me, he's not our player, so I'm a bit harsher on him, rightly or wrongly. You know, he said he wanted to leave Madrid to play on a consistent basis. He's got that opportunity. Of course, he's learning and fitness and all of these variables. But for me, I've seen you play against Benfica. I've seen you play against City. They're the games Madrid are probably watching. You ain't really done nothing in both of them. Against Benfica, I think you did all right. Players weren't finding you. You were poor against, either way, didn't really do much. And I think you was poor against City. So for me, Smith Rowe is back into the lineup personally. You know, I can rely on him. If Smith Rowe doesn't do the business, then the Leicester game, I don't know who he plays. But Smith Rowe plays for me. Saka on the right wing. I'd bring Lacazette. I could understand. Do you know what? The first name I wanted to go to was actually Martinelli, but I don't think he's going to do that. You know, I wouldn't mind Martinelli through the middle. My first thing was Martinelli through the middle, Saka on the right, Pepe on the left. But I've gone with Smith Rowe. Obviously, you know, Lacazette and Saka and Smith Rowe got a lovely understanding between the three of them. So they play. Pepe's done all right on the left wing. And, you know, with Tierney, he'll give us a lot. So that would be my team. Aubameyang, you know, he'll probably play, but he ain't done the business, so he shouldn't. Bellerin, manager's going to play favourite, so you'll play, but it should be Cedric for me. You know, Martinelli again. Martinelli for Lacazette would be the only one I'm really trying to make, people. So do let me know your lineups and all of those sort of things there as well, people. But if we look at what our gaffer has said, or what our manager, Mikel Arteta, said, he said, this is why we're here. You want this pressure. There's pressure on us. Pressure because of how we're playing this season. Pressure because if we go out, it's a madness. But like he said, I can't disagree with that. He said, the away goal is always important, but in this context, I don't think it's relevant. We'll take the game. We take the game like there is everything still to play for. And, you know, we can't defend regardless of stats. So we can't even say we're just going to lock it off. It's the second half of the game, and we need to go out there and try to win. Another thing, without the fans, without being in our stadium, I think makes the game tricky. It's a big season and a really important game mentally and confidence-wise. It's going to dictate if we're in another competition or not for a few more weeks. This is really what we need. It's a really tough opponent. It's a Champions League team who have been playing in these type of games for many years with a manager with huge experience. For us, it's a final. I can't add anything onto it. He said, this is why we're here. When you play in these competitions and these games and finals too, it's the pressure that you want. It's much better to have the pressure to win than the pressure not to lose. It's probably a bit of the same. It's probably a bit even. I really enjoy the pressure of winning, to be here and to represent this club. You have to be prepared for that. And to be fair, you know, Arteta, he can't look not confident, or there's going to be question marks, people. You know, shout out to Eusebio, you know, Portuguese legend, but it's not really relevant what's being said there. What's relevant, however, is the fitness problems. He said Thomas is very close. He's got a final test today in training, which is today. He's feeling good. He'll be available to play that match. So I'm not going to lie to you lot, people. I know people probably saying allow him, let him play against Leicester and things. And I know Xhaka will play. But for me, it probably, you know, for me, it would probably be Xhaka out and Partey in without a doubt, you know. But I wouldn't mind Xhaka and Partey playing. You know, I think Ceballos would miss out. I would like to see Ceballos and Partey, but if it's a cup final, I'm going with who I think he's going to play in the cup final. And this is what I think you're going to see, people. You know, this is my lineup. This is what I would go with. And I'm about to change it to what I believe Arteta will go with, people. I think you're going to see that. Really, I think you see that. I actually think you're going to see that. I think you're going to see that. That's what I think you'll see from Arteta. So we'll have to see. But it's nice to know Thomas Partey is very close. He's got a final fitness test and he's feeling good and he'll be available. But again, you know, have we finally turned a corner with this Thomas Partey stuff? Is he finally over this? Regarding Rob, as you lot know, he's not available. He's had a concussion. He's been tested and he's fine. But obviously there's protocols and prevention is better than cure. Arteta's had some more things to say. You know, he's bigged up. I'm not going to bore you lot with it because he's bigged up Bukayo Saka's form and how important he is and how he's doing unusual things for us, people. he's always, like he said here, the away goal is always important, but in this context, I don't think it's that relevant. And again, we can't afford for complacency and think, okay, we've done enough, we're through. It's a madness. I'm not going to bore you lot with what he said about fans coming back. When asked on the Europa League, he said, I think while mathematically everything is possible, in football, you have to try so hard. We're going to do that in the league for sure. It's true that the Europa League gives you a completely different route and is a competition that we want to carry on playing and try to win. Tomorrow is another opportunity to make a step forward. The better we are in the Europa League, the better we'll be performing in the league and vice versa. We need to be alive in both competitions. I hear that, Arteta, I agree, but I just think because of your lineup in the last couple of games, I think it's told me that indirectly you got more faith in the Europa League, man. Looking at Hector Bellerin, he said, if you ask if he has a special relationship with him, he said, if you asked me that question a few years ago, I'd probably say if he is the way he is, it's because we had a really strong relationship and I tried to help him as much as I could. Now it's a different relationship. Obviously, when you know the person and you know the professional, it's easier to help them because you know how he feels, you know what he needs, you know how to get the best out of him. It's true that this season he's found much more consistency. He's been available in much more matches, and hopefully he's now forgotten the last few years when injuries meant he wasn't able to play much. He has been more consistent in that he's been over his injuries. He has played well at portions, but I think it's been the same old Hector Bellerin, excluding getting over the injuries, some good moments, some shaky moments. There's enough to show some fans maybe there's something in here now. There's enough to say some fans, okay, cool, let's move on, sort of thing. So I don't think we've learned anything else. He was then asked on if he can no longer be Bellerin's friend, which obviously you can't. I'm not going to read you. Like he said, you can't change your feelings towards someone, but then you have to be fair. Don't think you're being fair. I think you're playing favorites a lot. But yeah, man, you've shared and lived in a different way with him. When asked if his position is under threat by Cedric, he said, I think everyone has to compete with each other. I think Cedric has done really well. And to be fair, he did kind of get at Bellerin once and say Cedric is the best in the final third and all those sort of things. He said, we've got Callum now that has been training really well in the last 3 or 4 weeks and looks completely ready to step in. So everyone has to play to their best level. And we're going to have to rotate players as well with the amount of games we've got. So yeah, as he said, he's played coy. We all know he's decided, but he's not trying to give anything away. We know Cedric isn't starting. And he's asked if this is the biggest game of the season. He said it's a big game and a really important game mentally and confidence-wise. As I already said, read that out. He denied, he's not acknowledging Jamie Redknapp's comments on Aubameyang. I'm not going to bore you lot with the rest of it, people, because all I care about is winning. They just need to make sure they win. So it is what it is in that regards, people, on that note. So yeah, that's that in relation to obviously the preview of the game from a DG perspective. Where did I write that, people? Again, I can't even remember the damn time zone. I mean the damn timestamp. Yeah, I can. So yeah, I'm gonna clip that all up later for you guys. Bro, and this is the problem, This is the problem. I've seen him big up Mustafi, give Mustafi captaincy, give Mustafi minutes over young centre-halves. He wants to bust out. David Luiz, we've heard he's disruptive, Bellerin, he's half-heart every year he wants to leave. So why are we breeding these more experienced players? Big up yourself, Peter, for being a member as well. I appreciate that, man. Big up yourself, Luca, for being done with school, man. I really appreciate, staying and, you're still, you're doing your schoolwork and then you're coming true. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that, man. So, yeah. I hope he talks to Haaland, but we've got no chance, my brother, for Haaland, man. I appreciate that, Peter, man. Do you think Saka can be the main man on a title-winning team? If everybody wants to be a winner, then yeah, not just one man can be a leader. It's as simple as that. Score prediction. I'm not really confident. I'm not gonna sit here and cap, man. I'm gonna say 2-0 Arsenal because I have a feeling Saka and Tierney and Partey, if he plays, they're gonna do something for me. They're gonna do something positive for me. So we'll have to see what happens, but. On that note, I've got nothing more to add. I'm going to get out of here. People, please make sure you hit the like button. Please make sure you subscribe. Obviously, tomorrow will be watch along business. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for that. We'll go again. A lot of content, man. A lot of content. Like you said, I've been streaming for time, man. Streaming for an hour and 42 minutes. But, it's gone longer because I really enjoy speaking with you lot. So, yeah, I'll be back later. Well, I say later, tomorrow and something like that. We keep going. Please, can we get that to 500 before the thing's done? Man said, have you read Mastery? If you're talking about the Robert Greene books, yes, I have, man. Andrew, Love that you've tuned in, man. Everybody, you know, whatever you're doing in your life, please just stay safe. You know, it's Thursday tomorrow. Hope you've all had a better week, better start to this week, or having a better week than last week. You know, I'm all for, you know, let's accomplish our goals and things like that. Raise up the likes, people, and I'll see you lot soon, man. But on that note, people, it's always a pleasure. God bless each and every one of you lot. DG, I'm out.